If you're a business owner and you're smart, you're strategic, you're doing well, and everyone around you thinks that you're an absolute machine, but you feel like you're stuck at a glass ceiling. You're working 14-hour days, and at the end of every day, you constantly feel overwhelmed, stressed out, tired, and exhausted. Then this is for you. I've spent thousands of hours in the chair coaching world elites just like yourself. I've helped generate tens of millions in revenue for my clients. I've seen that the biggest bottleneck is not a lack of talent. A lot of you are very smart. It's a failure to protect the most expensive commodity that you own, and that is your time. And I've learned this the hard way. I've wasted a lot of time, and I've recalibrated and got a lot of time back. And I realized we must start to become aware of the problem in order to solve the problem. So today I want to introduce you to something that you've probably heard a few times, and if you haven't, you're going to learn something new. The facts show that we all want to act like the person that we say we are. If you learn how to be happy, but you do not change who you are at your core, your happiness will not last. And if anything, that is why you are seeing every day now depression is going up, loneliness is going up, stress is going up, because people are trying gimmicks and tactics. And they're learning how to be happy, and they might get momentary happiness, but then it doesn't last. Most people, most bosses, most business owners, most humans, they're on a timer until they quit because they try to do more just to have freedom later. They forget that 73 out of 100 people fail in their first year in business because they build on emotions and not facts, not data. So what we want to do instead is we want to build on solid facts and data, but most importantly, on a solid identity. To break your glass ceiling and live a truly limitless life, you must change how you think. Stopping the rush gives you room to lead. But staying successful is actually going to require a true identity shift in who you fundamentally are. You must stop waiting to have time freedom. You must stop waiting to have true freedom and start being the person who truly owns your outcomes, truly owns your mornings, your afternoons, and your days. Now, so most entrepreneurs have it backwards. They want to have time freedom first, or true freedom, and then they'll do better scheduling, or then they'll start to own their outcomes or audit their time. And eventually they'll be disciplined business owners. And they usually have a very bad self-fulfilling prophecy where they wait for the business to slow down before they fix things. That's what they actually tell me. When I speak to these people, they say, I'm waiting for things to slow down. I'm like, well, I thought you wanted to scale your business, but now you want the business to slow down so that you can fix your time management skills. And it's a crazy paradox to me. And usually when I relay that back to them, they go, oh, you're true. You're right. It's messing up our ambitions to grow as we set a goal to grow. But usually they say, when the business slows down, or in their mind, when I have time freedom, then I'll start scheduling, then I'll audit my time, then I'll look at, what zones I'm sitting in. Am I spending a lot of time distracting myself? Am I in delusion? Am I in the demand, or am I in the zone? So I'll do that once I magically somehow have my time management in place, which we know doesn't work. It's never going to work. The reality, the formula for success and happiness and, elite time management is the complete opposite. You must be the person who can protect their time now. Say no to people today, right now. Say no to your staff, to your colleagues, to your spouse. Doesn't matter, they'll thank you for it if you actually give them more quality time versus quantity time. You have to be able to say, technically, if you don't like saying no, just say yes in the right direction. Say yes to yourself, yes to what is important and not urgent to you. Say yes to the things that are really going to elevate your quality of life today. So naturally, you don't have to say yes to others. You just have to say yes to yourself. At the end of the day, a true leader does not ask for permission to control their calendar. They treat it like an absolute financial asset, because the truth is all your team is actually relying on you to keep the business alive. And if you end up not being able to control your calendar and the company goes bust, or worst case scenario, you burn out and you can't come to work anymore, those guys are just going to either find a job, or they're going to be really sad for you, but you're really not going to be able to help them help their families anymore. So if you think about the long-term success of you managing your calendar, really it's a long-term success of you managing your whole team and keeping them in a job. So what you want to do is you want to treat your calendar like a financial asset. When you begin to shift your identity, what happens then is you drop your cortisol. As a result of you actually living in the zone, which is what we said, the fulfillment zone, which is the things that are important and not urgent to you, naturally what's going to happen, you're going to have less cortisol. So when you have less cortisol in your brain, you have 25% endorphins, 25% dopamine, which leads to you being more confident, which naturally means you are 33% more likely to take risks, which actually allows you to begin to live the limitless life that you truly want and desire for yourself, for your health, for your spouse, for your family, for your kids, for your friends. You can have more fun, you can learn more. All of this without actually feeling guilty. You allow yourself to say no to distractions, to delusional things that are urgent but not important to you without any guilt. Actually reminds me of my client, Chris. Before we started working together, actually at the beginning of starting work together, he always used to feel huge guilt around saying no to his team, his sales team. And he was always spending time in the things that were important and urgent. And he never spent any time in things that are important but not urgent, such as training his team, creating SOPs, learning how to improve his leadership skills so that the time he does spend in his business actually creates bigger shifts rather than just trying to be there for them in body, but really and truly he wasn't any more benefit to them than not being there because he wasn't able to provide them with certain skills. So eventually, we went through the same conversation I'm having right now, and as a result, he decided that he would be able to say no without guilt because he started to look at the long-term goal, the long-term vision. And as a result, he was able to train his team. He was able to create procedures. And as a result, now, the last month I spoke to him, he did $1.3 million in sales while him working less and his team doing more, and both people are happy. He's happy, his team is happy. So the story of Chris proves that who you are is the real key. If you try to do more without changing who you are at your core and the environment that you're around, because environment is stronger than willpower, you'll just get very tired and you'll quit. So don't try and fix your day with small tricks. That won't last. That's like putting a new software on an old phone. Eventually, the phone crashes and you need to buy a new one anyway. Before I wrap up today, I just want to remind you that the reason why 73% of people quit is because they don't have these systems in place. They get really tired, they get exhausted, and they think that this is not for them, and they go and they numb themselves through distraction. So if you're ready to stop leaking 60% of your life into the demand and the delusion, and you want to be a part of the 27% who actually make it, who stay the course, and you want to discuss how we can shatter your mental limits in a one-to-one capacity, send me a message, and I'd love to have a conversation. And lastly, I just want to remind you that I believe business owners who want to grow their income while working less should prioritize shattering these exact mental limits over traditional skill acquisition. Because when you can change who you are fundamentally, the tools that you already have will be enough in order for you to have the result that you want in your life. Stay limitless.